Dee Dee, here's one for you from Grace O'Sullivan. And Grace says, are Liverpool, we're talking about credit a lot, are Liverpool been given enough credit for what they've achieved this season compared to last? 75-point total last season. Already they're at 70 this term with 9 games to go. Only 1 loss and 15 goals conceded. Up against any other team other than Man City, would there be more positivity? What do you think?
Well, I think it's clear that they have been improving. I think they've bought well with a keeper, which has been an issue for a number of years. Van Dijk was probably the biggest difference when he came about 14, 15 months ago. And in Fabinho, they got a player who gave him a bit more defensive stability when he plays in that holding role. Yes, I think they have improved. But at the end of the day, at Liverpool, the measure will always be trophies, and they've had a lead of 7 or 9 points. At the moment, they're 1 behind. They still got a chance to win the league. I think they've got a slightly easier run in. And in the Champions League, they're still there. They've got a tough game in Munich, but it's all to play for. But at some stage, you know, it's all full and well improving the team and getting better. And I think they have come on a lot in the last 18 months. At some stage, you've got to win a trophy, because I think, as Liam just alluded to, the first 11 players of Spurs, or the first 13, 14, I think are very good to compete maybe in cup competitions. I think Liverpool assemble a squad now that can compete in 2 or 3 competitions, and certainly in the Premier League. And expectations get higher when you win the league by a few points.
What's the pressure going to be like from the fans at Liverpool?
Well, I think they get a bit impatient, because they've been to 3 finals under the manager. They lost them all. And at some stage, I think that the problem or the fear I've got with Liverpool, in Liverpool it's black or white. There's no in between, and the atmosphere and the way people feel about the club could change very, very quickly. If you were to go out in Munich, and in the league, if you were to go further behind, you know, everything, the passion that really drives the club, which made him a success in the last few 1.5 or 2 years, that could count against him. That's my biggest fear for Liverpool.
Yeah, and Richie, you know, just the very last kind of part of Grace's tweet to us, it's asking about positivity. Would there be more positivity? Like, there's a quarter of the Premier League season to go. Like, where's the negativity coming from?
I think the most of the negativity I'm picking up around Liverpool comes from Liverpool fans. A lot of my mates are Liverpool fans. There's a huge amount of praise and positivity around Liverpool. Go back to before a few weeks ago, it was more or less relentlessly positive. They were breaking records with their start of the season. They're playing brilliant football. Still only lost 1 game domestically. They're awesome to watch, and they were top of the league. But they're rightfully open to criticism because of the points drop recently and the way in which they've played. But there's an anxiety, like Didi said, there's a huge amount of anxiety among Liverpool supporters.
And that's understandable.
Understandable. But again, it's a kind of a sensitivity among a lot of supporters. Like, even the last question, like, are we getting enough praise, or are we getting too much stick?
Credit,
should we be more positive? Get over it. If you're going to play poorly, we're going to call it out. If you drop points, people will notice it. If you win trophies, you get praise, and if you fall short, we'll try and pick apart why you fell short, who was to blame, or what needs to change. That's just the nature of
the question is why Liverpool have stuttered of late. And it might be that a lot of the players in there have not been across the line before there. And, you know, I was lucky enough to play in a Juventus team many, many years ago, but they had won the league. They had won the league several times, and there was a lot of experience. And when we were on the run-in, you know, the last 7 or 8 games, there was an assurance about these guys. Now, I've watched Liverpool of late, and I'm thinking, oh, particularly the front players, they're not performing like they had. They've lost a little bit of belief. They've lost a little bit of confidence. And I'm just wondering if the pressure's coming on now, and the fact that they haven't got that experience might be telling against them.
And, like, Didi, is there something maybe in the fact to you know, with this stuttering, like, they still haven't lost, though. You know, OK, there's been draws, 2 really tough games, Man United, the big win against, wasn't it, Watford or Wolves?
Watford,
but the 5-0, you know, but Everton is always going to be, they're the 2 biggest games, biggest away games.
They drew away to West Ham.
Manchester United.
They haven't lost.
They won. United won, I think, 11 out of 12 games before they went to Old Trafford. So, you know, I don't think it's any harm done if you draw away at Goodison or at Old Trafford. similar to the Dortmund, what we said before the game, once you're 7, 8, 9 points ahead, what they were around Christmas, 7 points of what the lead was, things change, because I think the majority of the people in England and Ireland would have made Liverpool favourites. So all of a sudden you've got something to lose. And it's a different pressure to chase or to go out and play with the freedom, which it did in the first half of the season. Now all of a sudden that freedom turned into pressure, into fear.
A bit like Dortmund, you mean?
A bit like Dortmund, yeah. They had a similar situation. And they've got City breathing down their neck. Now they're in front. And Dortmund has Bayern Munich breathing down. Bayern Munich won it the last six seasons. City won it, 2 or 3 times the last 5 or 6 years?
Well, what about my point to say that these players, like at Munich, they know how to do the job?
Yeah, 100. Well,
and Man City, they know how to do the job.
It counts for a lot. Experience.
Liverpool haven't got that experience in the side.
And they had 3 chances, as I said, in cup finals where they potentially could have won all 3 of them. Unless you go the last step to win a trophy or to win the league, you don't know. Because I think there's only James Milner who's won the Premier League with Manchester City. He's the only Premier League winner in that team. City will have, double figures. Most of them would have won the league already. And they know that they've got what it takes. Liverpool doesn't. And we all know the situation, how long it's been since Liverpool won the league. And when the lads will go out in the city, there will only be one topic. I don't think too many people talk about the Champions League. Every other person will ask him about the Premier League. Are we going to win it? And it's a different mindset when you say, oh, let's play game by game, see how it goes, and you're on a roll, you're on a high. Now it's the first time they stutter. They still haven't lost or only lost 1 game. I think the biggest strength they've got at the moment is their defence, which I wouldn't have said in the last 5 years. They're stuttering going forward. They only, as you said, conceded 15 goals. I think the biggest argument for them to win the league this season is the defence.
Okay.